properties of the text box. Some properties of the text box. Okay, right. Let me show you the text box control. See, for every control, almost all for all controls, some properties will be common properties like ID, like text. These are all the common properties. View, toolbox, view toolbox. There is a control called text box. There is a control called text box. Let me show you the some of the properties. Let me show you ID and text 4-color. All these properties will be same. Let me see some different properties here. Back color did we discussed on behalf of label?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Border style, all these things we discussed. Now come on, Nivedita, tell me about enabled property. Guess.
If enabled is true, then user can input the data. And if it is false, it is like user cannot enter the data.
Right. So everybody be alert in the class. So everybody has to respond. Right. Come on. Enabled. See, enabled is one of the important property for text box. Enabled. It is a Boolean property. It is a Boolean. You people are not responding for even the homeworks also, I'm sure. True means what? Means you observe. By default, the value is also true. True means what? You know, the text box will accept input from the user even though in runtime. Enabled means you can see right now user can enter some data in design time as well as runtime. User will enter data in design time or runtime generally.
Runtime.
User will have the chance to enter the data only in runtime. So suppose text box enabled equal to true means your text box will allow the user to enter some data. Observed, is it visible to all the people?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. Is controls are looks like clear for you, or shall I increase the size of the controls, like output size?
It's fine, sir.
It's clear, sir.
Clear, or
Yes, sir.
we can increase the div section code, like in div. Let's say in div. Sorry, I think this is the way we can increase to 150. Then your output will be like this. I think it's not increased. Huh? Yeah. Open properties window. Right. Form, I think form you can say somewhere you have some property, but right now is it okay now? Style.
Yes, sir.
Style debug enable. We can increase. Okay, but still let me check it. But right now is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next property is same property. Let me change it as false. I changed the property called enabled equal to text box control enabled equal to, I changed it as false. 1 minute. It is observed some mistake I have done. I am trying to change the property value, but it is not allowing me. Whenever it is not allowing me, I have felt myself that it is my keyboard is not working. But there was a problem. Generally, I told you that is the application is in which mode? Running mode, called debugging mode. That is the reason I am unable to access anything. So we have to do what? Stop debugging, and we have to change it as enabled equal to stop debugging. Then we have to change it as right text box control and enabled.
Drop down.
Sorry.
Select a drop down menu. It's there in properties.
Yeah. What is
No,
you're talking about? What?
Toward enable option right side.
Yeah, right side.
Drop down option.
Right.
right
Right.
Very right side of the property window.
What you
In
want?
the same line, sir.
Yes, enable.
Drop
True.
down
In
list.
the true column.
Wait. What you are telling to me? I'm not understanding. I'm
In
trying.
property window, there is enable true. True has two options, true and false.
Don't tell me.
So it's drop down arrow.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Enabled equal to true or what is that? False. But I selected true. I've selected right now. It is what? False. False. Okay. Right. ఓకే తాతకు దగ్గులు నేర్పుతున్నట్టుంది మీరు చెప్పే మాటలు రైట్ కమాన్ కంపైలేషన్ అండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఓకే నౌ యూ గైస్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ రైట్ రైట్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ యువర్ టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ will I changed a property. What I changed property? I changed my enabled equal to what?
False.
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 Then what happened? What happened? What
You
happened?
can edit.
Yeah, in runtime what happened? Yeah, it will allow the user input or it will not allow the user input. I'm trying to enter input but it's not allowing. That is called enabled equal to what is that? False. Okay. Right. Next, let me change this property called, let me change my property called, what is that my property? It's not allowing. Let me change. We have some other properties here. Again, I'll make it as by default value is what? Suppose I removed enabled like this. By default value is what?
True.
Enable.
By default value enabled. By default value is what?
True.
By default value is true. Okay, right. Next, after this, we have, this is one important property. Next, coming to the font, four color, all these things are okay. Next, there is a value. There is a value called max length. Suppose max length I entered 3. So can you guess what is it? Max length I entered 3.
Number of characters.
And it will allow up to 3 characters. It will allow up to 3 characters. Suppose generally this we will use for password text boxes. I said max length equal to 3. I entered A, B, C, D. D is not allowing. Only A, B, C. That is the story about a property called max length. Next to coming to the read only we will discuss, and next important property is tab index. Tab index is what? Tab index is also the property will decide the focus. Okay, right. That also we'll discuss later. Right. That also we'll discuss later. Unnecessary confusion. But here, but this property is almost all similar like enabled property. Which one? Read only. For example, read only is also a property called a Boolean property, because it will show you true or false. It will show you true or false. Observed?
Yes, sir.
It will show you true or what is that? False. By default value is what?
False.
Means what? Means what?
Means we can user can even enter the data.
Ante
Change the
by default text box is a read only text box. Read only text box or read and write only text box. Read only
read and
write. Read and write.
read only false means read and write. It can read the data, it can write the data. But suppose you made it as true. Suppose you made it as what? True. Then
cannot change the data.
it is a read only text box. Read only text box means again what exactly? Read only text box means what exactly? It can only read the data. Sorry, it can you can read the data. Who can read the data? User can read the data. User cannot enter any. I'm trying to enter. Allowing or not allowing?
Not allowed.
Not allowing. Here the point, important point is, almost all this property and this property both are looks what?
Similar.
Similar. Enabled and
Disabled.
but I am sure there will be some difference. There will be some difference. Are you clear? So will they give same property, same properties of two? No, never will give. I'm sure there will be some difference. So what you need to do, identify the difference between enabled property and read-only property. You try at home. So, but there is slight difference is there. What is the property? What is the difference? You try to identify. Okay, guys. Now, next I'll give you a small example in text box. Till the time we work with the label and button. Now I am going for next level example.